Hello, everybody. Happy Friday, and welcome back to the Pigeon Coop, where once again we are engaging in the peak literature from Project Moon. Last week we read the entirety of Leviathan, and today we're reading at long last Distortion Detective, apparently published in 2020. Man, am I really behind the times or what? My lord. But hey, better late than never. Am I right? Yeah, I'm probably right. So it's gonna work the exact same way it did last time. I'm gonna be reading and giving you all my best. And of course, we got some Limbus Company happening in the background as I do my dailies. Multitasking is very important here in the Pigeon Coop. Cheers, indeed. Welcome to the banana. I imagine we are in the, oh my goodness, actual cheers. Hello, 1,000 joules, my dear lord, banana. I know, Spat, that's what I said. Oh, wow, well, thank you. My goodness. That is quite a bit of buns. Thank you. I actually don't know how much that is monetarily, but man, thank you so much. Yeah, we are in your home territory now where we're talking about distortions. You have XPs! Let's go, XPs. Once again, YouTube chat is not working on the stream. Why have you done this? Oh man, what is happening with stream elements? Why is it being this way? Hang on one second. I'm gonna try one other thing. How did it work that one stream and then no other stream? I don't understand. What am I doing wrong? Just damn it all. Let me see here. Maybe if I go in here, and let me make sure I'm using the right thingamajigger. Let me see. Yeah, that's for Twitch. Yeah, that's all well and good. Very good. Yeah, the overlay is definitely visible. I can see it. Sure. Why do you hate? Why doth it hate? This is going to bother me. In here. Yeah, Maybe if I do it like this, $10. Yeah, I'll take that. Boy, I'm grateful for any and all support, even if that support is just your presence. So thank you so much, Banana. I appreciate it. I still don't know why. This bloody thing is being a jerk about it. How did it work the other day and then literally on no other day? I don't understand. Maybe refresh the cache. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe somehow the URL for the browser source changed. Let me do that. There we go. And then let me see here. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. Let me see settings. Yeah. Yeah, that's all well and good. We're in settings. Okay. All right. I'm going to assume it's working now. The test message works, if nothing else. So hopefully that means it works. But anyway, back to the main event. Now, from what I understand, Distortion Detective was left kind of in unfinished state because Project Moon is planning to turn this into a visual novel kind of deal. At least that's the rumors I've heard. And I have noticed that what is available is considerably shorter than Leviathan. Sure, I don't know. I haven't looked ahead. I just know that there are like 9 chapters and a couple of pieces of filler. It is like half finished. Okay, yeah. So I noticed there are like 9 chapters, a couple pieces of filler. So assuming they're about the same length as Leviathan's chapters, excuse me. This will probably be slightly like about half the length that the last one was. But hey, we're gonna get there. We're finally gonna learn who Moses is. Or I say we. I am going to learn who Moses is finally and why she's such a big deal to everybody. To the point where people will have a mountain of smiling bodies style crash out the moment she appears in Kanto 7, because when she showed up for me, I was like, I have no idea who you are. Who the hell is this Moses lady? Today's stream, once again, not sponsored by Celsius, but how I wish it would be. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just gonna be reading this. Spat's gonna be screaming on my shoulder because that's just what a Spat do. And doing my dailies in the background because that's also how I Riz want to do. Yes, thank you, Spat. Thank you. Thank you. My goodness. Here, I'll give you scritches, okay? If I give you scritches, that make it better? Okay. Anyway. And again, important note, I know nothing about Distortion Detective. So, the only thing I know about Vespa, Ezra, and Moses is what I've learned in Limbus Company thus far. Other than that, I know nothing about them. Alright, so, without further ado, get yourself a drink, a snacky-do, make yourself comfy, and let's get to reading. I can see the distortion, and the distortion can occur to anyone. I don't exactly know who coined the term distortion for the phenomenon, but people just started calling it that at some point. No one knows how it works, but the experience so far suggests that this phenomenon is a manifestation of strong emotional desires and explosive surges of feelings. The pianist who, or rather which, wreaked havoc on District 9 is known as one of the most notable cases of the distortion. Greetings and salutations, Ray. Hope you're doing well. Not many are aware that smaller cases of the distortion are happening here and there across the city, even now. A person turning into a fish, and everyone's eyes being dyed with the hues of the sky are two such examples. Well, I mean, that last one sounds fairly pleasant. Anyway, I hope you're feeling better, Ray. I hope you're able to get some rest, buddy. The distortion appears to me as visual distortions in a literal sense. Although I can see them, they are intangible. In the case of the person whose upper body gradually turned into that of a fish, I could clearly observe scales growing on their body. Yet, when I touch their skin, I can only feel the soft sensation of a normal human skin. Hearing this much, one might think that the distortion is merely an illusion. Well, that would mean I'm simply delusional and suffering from hallucinations. However, I've taken up this job because that is not the case. I am chasing after the distortion. It's secretive yet explicit, and it proceeds slowly. For example, the fish person I mentioned earlier, who was dubbed the merfolk, underwent gradual changes, such as having their eyes protrude, gills appear, and scales grow out of their skin. When their upper body almost completely morphed into the form of a fish, the change physically manifested itself in a moment's notice. Only then could I ever see what had become of the merfolk, and physically feel the fishy features of their body. The merfolk, case number 5, was originally a villager in District 19's fishing hamlet, who was subject to constant abuse. How lovely. It seemed that they spent most of their lives staring into the Great Lake, yearning to escape from their current life. My conclusion is that they desired to be free from their agonies and saw the lake as a getaway, and that strong longing for water ultimately distorted them into the merfolk. Of course, there are many other complicated factors involved, but I'll omit the details since the merfolk is not the main subject of my story. My work is to look out for cases of the distortion and prevent them. In fact, the progress of the distortion varies for each person. Ever since I gained this ability to see omens of the distortion with my eyes, I cannot see a single person who is not distorted in one way or another. Oh, so she can see distortions. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder how that works. Once again, I don't have a deeper understanding of the phenomenon or anything. I simply started seeing it one day, and could notice it earlier than others. Since I can see the signs in advance, I do my best to warn people to take preventive measures before it manifests. That is my job. I was hired by a firm that had lost several of its staff to the so-called Ascension incident, and sought out the employees whose eyes were filled with the sky's colors. The firm advised them to wear sunglasses. The idea to give them sunglasses so that they couldn't keep the scenery of the sky in their eyes was so outlandish, it made me chuckle. The sky no longer being blue for them didn't have much positive impact on their boring lives. But at least it didn't evaporate anymore. I'm sorry, what do you mean evaporate? Gonna need, we jumped to evaporation of people. Moses, please. The people who used to look up at the sky started looking down instead. Perhaps they still wanted to get closer to the sky by going up to the rooftop. Or maybe they were just one of the many who chose to jump to death. The city isn't too interested in what happens after a case has been solved. All they need to know is if the deaths were understandable or not. I'm not a charity worker, so I don't bother looking into cases of the distortion when I wasn't asked to investigate either. Case number 13, Balloon People. This case was rather explosive. Oh boy. I titled this case Balloon People because people's heads quite literally expanded like balloons until they went pop. 99 red balloons. Sorry. This cold explosion would cover everything within a 10-meter radius with blood and blow to pieces everyone in its range as well. A company in Oak Corp's Nest finally asked for my help after suffering 5 instances of those balloon people. After some investigation, I found out that all occurrences of this distortion had one thing in common. They all worked in the service industry. Oh god, too real. Too real. Let me tell you guys, if you've never worked in the service industry, nothing will make you turn into a balloon person more than entitled people in the service industry. To interpret a distortion, you need to combine multiple pieces of evidence. This process consists of 4 steps. Oh, sorry, 1 second here. There you go. Anyway, sorry about that. This process consists of 4 steps: cause, explanation, understanding, and acknowledgement. Is that right? Promoting distortion? No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. First, investigate the possible causes of the distortion and construct a clear explanation that covers the causal relationship in a convincing manner. Then, make the subject understand why they are going through the distortion, and have them acknowledge that they could fully distort at this rate. If all of these steps succeed, the case is closed. The distortion is considered solved if the subject regresses to a form that looks human enough to me. Aha! We're not! We are solving the distortion today. Oh, damn it. Yeah, so why does the test message work, but the chat messages don't show up in stream elements? What am I doing wrong? Literally, how did I get it to work that one time and no other time? I don't understand. What have I done wrong? Let's see here. Maybe I'll do it like this. Let's try it like this, mostly just because. That's so obnoxious, stream elements, please. Let's see. It's very verifiably your fault, Ray. 100%. The fact that I haven't blamed you for anything in a long time is proof that it was clearly your fault. Okay, send a test message. Okay. Yeah, Okay, well now the text is all white, so at least something's different. Oh, bloody hell. Exactly, like I said. I haven't blamed you for something in a long time. So therefore, it must be your fault. Process of elimination is the perfect time to bet against the odds. Alright, where was I? Hopefully YouTube chat is fixed again, because again, I can see it, but you guys can't see it on stream, and that really annoys me. I have no idea what I've done wrong. I don't know what's different from the previous stream where it worked. Anyway, questions for later. Let's see. Those who became the balloon people used to work in emotionally intense fields such as delivery carriers, nurses, and call center clerks. Particularly, call center clerks had the largest average explosion radius of 16 meters. Oh yeah, it do be like that. Some inquiries revealed that another company had subcontracted all customer service calls to one call center. The clerk's job was to record the claims from clients and send those records to that company. The problem lay in this process. The call center clerks lacked any expertise in the subjects of those complaints, yet they had to endure heaps of insult from their clients. Even though there was no use lashing out at them, the clerks were treated like emotional garbage cans, hearing all kinds of abusive language and even threats from clients. Yeah, it do be like that, those poor people. Service workers are compelled to put on a smile and a cheery voice while being a punching bag for others, having no way to vent out their own distress. Such stress would naturally accumulate over time. This resulted in their heads inflating like balloons. All the while, they maintained a facade of serenity. They end up exploding once their stress reached a breaking point. From that point, my work is simple. I made a list of clerks whose heads appeared inflated to me and sent that to the company. Those clerks then lost their jobs. The company didn't bother investing any time or effort into shrinking their heads. My work often ends before I can enter the stages of understanding and acknowledgement. Well, that's unfortunate, but also not unexpected. Simply interpreting the distortion doesn't resolve the fundamental issue. Their stress is bound to explode one way or another. However, such matters didn't concern my clients much. All they cared about was maintaining this abnormal status quo and evading responsibility for the distortion, not the cause behind it. I suppose the same can be said of me. I can't help but keep thinking that we are all missing something important. I believe I'll be chasing after the distortion for a while, as every single thing appears distorted to my eyes. Right now, I am looking into a mirror, to my eyes. I'm the only one who doesn't appear distorted in a world full of distorted people. Could the one person who remains unchanged be the distorted one? As I look at all the distorted people, the distorted streets, and this distorted city, I come to think that maybe the whole world is distorted. I can't fathom what would happen once the distortion of this world continues and reaches a critical point. Until then, I'll stay ever vigilant for the distortion. I am the Distortion Detective. And there she is. The last, the myth, the legend, Moses herself. Okay, so, what I've learned, Moses can see distortions. Interesting. I wonder if that's her distortion, like maybe her distortion was just localized to her eyes? Or maybe that was just like her manifesting ego unknowingly? Well, no, she would have heard Carmen's voice, so she'd have a lot more insight into the distortion if that were the case. Well, anyway, that's chapter 2. Alright, self-contradiction, chapter 2. You idiot. I quietly murmured, grinding my teeth. Ezra had done it again. I told her numerous times not to ask sensitive questions to the subjects of the distortion. Ezra then whispered to me, "Aw, detective, what do we do?" Sorry, Jeff. My niece isn't very streetwise yet, you see. Oh, you lovely young sprout. What do you mean with detective? Are you seeing stuff again? Poor little thing. So you were just a couple of nut jobs. You disrupt my business with bollocks again, and the call security. The master chef yelled, although this restaurant was too small and shabby for such luxurious titles. Yes, I'll teach my little gal here to behave. Are you insane? Did you really have to say that out loud? Wow, the food here is just as disgusting as the sanitation. Who taught you to cook? This small restaurant has not seen too many guests. It really did taste horrible. Once again, I'm facing the Project Moon writing issue where it's difficult to keep track of who's talking in a conversation. Project Moon, please. Identify people. You think we're here to enjoy the food? You're supposed to carefully look around for clues. Just cram the food in your mouth before the chef finds us suspicious. This food has got to be the cause of the disappearance. I bet the revolting taste drove them crazy and made them wander off. I'm cutting your salary. What? By 25%. Aw, detective, please. I took a pipe out of my inner coat pocket. The case may be stuck for the moment, but it should end well somehow. With such optimism, I started smoking. I'm a fixer from District 14. A decently experienced grade 5, currently working for 7. Oh, the 7 Association? Interesting. Let me see here. Which one is District 14? Hang on, I gotta look this up. District 14 Project Moon. Hold on a second. N-Corp! Oh, dear. It all goes back to N-Corp, lads. Without exception, it always goes back to N-Corp. Sorry, give me 1 second here. Okay, there we go. I think that's a little better. I noticed my volume spiking a little high, so I adjusted it a little bit. Sorry, guys, if I was blowing out your eardrums there for a moment. Let's see, for 7. The association specializing in intelligence and investigation operations. It sure is. And this is not the 7 from The Boys. I'm sorry for everybody currently going through the mourning of what was The Boys finale and how terrible it apparently was, but different 7. I solve mysteries for a living, though most of these unsolved cases are about the distortion anyway. The city seems to be mostly clueless about the distortion. I simply jumped into this budding niche earlier than others thanks to my cursed talent, seeing people's distortions. So, what did the chef look like to you, detective? The lower half of their body was that of a snake, and hands were attached on its tails. Had about 7 tails, if I remember correctly. Ugh. What about their upper body? Was it human? Yep. I can see a human in a filthy chef's uniform. Okay, so it's not Papa Bongi, for sure. Does that mean the distortion has progressed by about half? Maybe it'll manifest in a week or so. It could very well happen tonight, judging from these circumstances. The mouth on one of the tails was salivating and twitching quite intensely. Anyway, we're dealing with a reptilian, right? Let's see. A stigma workshop probably could work. You always pick the expensive gadgets. The pattern of distortion has been changing lately. The manifestations are getting faster. No, to be precise, the distortion has started to manifest even while people are unconscious. That's right. Their bodies distort in their sleep. It seems to happen with the people who are half distorted from what I can see. A sloppy monster can only cause sloppy trouble. Oh, that's interesting. I've not seen anyone distort in bed. I know that could happen, but I could see it like a nightmare happening, right? Like you're trapped in a nightmare, and then again, would Carmen be able to just? I guess Carmen reaches out to you in your dream. I don't know. It's like you gotta talk to Carmen in order to distort. So I don't quite understand how that's possible when you're sleeping. I'm not downing what she's saying here. Don't get me wrong. It's just like what's the process here? So Carmen can access your dream. Or you just like have a sleep talk conversation with Carmen? Like, what's the deal with airline food? Oh well. It seems to be causing some trouble. The Zwei Association gave my office a request. People have been disappearing at night inside a certain hotel in the area the association has been safeguarding. Recording was forbidden in the back streets of District 14, so there's no video footage available. The hotel has only 2 entrances, the main gate and the back door through the kitchen. None of the missing guests were seen leaving through the main gate. The hotel wasn't assaulted by a syndicate either, which was obvious considering these Y were in charge of that area. Detective! Maybe something's really up with the kitchen? Its chef was the most distorted person around, so it's plausible. The sun sets and night falls. We infiltrated the hotel restaurant. The fairy I spent a fortune on enters the keyhole and opens the door for us. Sometimes, singularities feel much more like monsters than the half-baked creatures born from the distortion. Wow! Are they having a party or something? What are they eating? Under a red light, skinless husks, or no, it is hunks. Hunks of flesh were sitting around the table, eating something. The only dish on the table was something that looked like a large leather sack. They each grab something from the sack and eat it. The putrid smell stings my nose. My mind falters for a moment. Oh, lovely. Turn around. Do not look at the thing they're eating. Don't breathe. This is driving me mad, detective. But it looks so cozy in there. It looks like a bedroll. You'll be eaten and turned into manure once you get in that bedroll. Ezra was completely entranced. I smacked her in the chest as quietly as I could. Ugh. I gave Ezra a handkerchief so that she could cover her nose. Keep it tight. We're heading to the kitchen now. Leaving behind the feast, we crawled toward the kitchen. A long line of people waited in front of it. Those were the people reported to be missing. They enter the kitchen one by one. Then human-shaped flesh hunks walk out, each carrying a leather sack. They bring it to their table and eat from it. The food bewitches people, huh? What could they be eating, detective? It's time to find out. Get ready, assistant. Ezra took a Stigma Workshop sword out of her bag. I pulled out my smoking pipe. The door leading to the kitchen is wide open. People lining up for their sack pay no attention to us. They're simply mumbling to themselves. We proceed slowly. We're going in. I can hear the sound of kitchenware at work. The chef is busy cooking something, holding multiple cooking utensils with the hands that are on their tails. What could they be cooking? What are they feeding those people with? Detective, people are bowing to the chef to show their heads. The chef is splitting them open and taking something out? Doesn't look like a brain. They aren't extracting the brain itself. They're pulling something out of it. Could it be thoughts? How is that possible? That's what the distortion is all about. Unseeable things are materialized. That means they're giving away their thoughts to the chef? So the chef can cook them, and the chef also peels their skin to use as a sack. That's pretty wicked. My eyes met the chef's gaze. Hey, you're the insane bunch I saw earlier today. You want to eat? Then line up. The taste's gonna be nothing like the stuff you ate before. What are you feeding these people? I'm giving them what they want. I cook thoughts. People these days don't even know what they're thinking. So they need someone else to cook those thoughts up and feed them. You've already killed people. A case of the distortion that is capable of murder would be, according to this is probably Ezra. Actually, again, Project Moon, let me know who's talking, please. I beg you. A case of the distortion that is capable of murder would be, according to the standards of our office setup, a risk level 3 distortion. Kill? They aren't dead. They're having a feast, don't you see? But no food is enough to make you people happy anymore. Gotta know who you are and what kind of world you're living in to truly savor the flavor. This is almost like a cheap urban myth. You've gone too far. Detective! The fleshy things in the restaurant all came in here! You just haven't tried it yet. I'll show you how your thoughts taste. Enjoy your lurk, Ray. Take care. Ezra, take them down. The Stigma Workshop sword emits an orange glow. The wire on its blade heats up. Each time Ezra swings the sword, one hunk of flesh falls to the floor. The heated wire leaves behind beautiful symbols, those are sections it slices, a trademark feature of Stigma Workshop's products. The smell of burnt meat soon fills the kitchen. A sentient case of the distortion that willingly harms others is ultimately subjected to termination. We sometimes encounter distortions that we can't take down on our own, but also can be dealt with in some manner. This kind is especially simple. Have you tried your own cooking, then? Self-contradiction. Distortions that damage others while claiming to care for them are bound to face irony. So, you're feeding others with a dish that you haven't even tried yourself. What makes you so confident in its taste, My cooking has to be tasty. Oh, the customers look sad and sulky even when I serve them with the most delicious food before. It's because they didn't even think for themselves. You can tell if a food is tasty just from a person's face. Someone who doesn't even try their own cooking isn't a real chef. Fine. I'll eat it. I'll eat my own food. There we go. That's the spirit of a true chef. The chef split open their own head. They put their hand into their brain and pulled out something glowy. As soon as the chef was done taking all the thoughts out, they collapsed onto the floor. Oh, whoopsie-doodle. Just like that, the chef passed away before they could taste their own thoughts. Detective! I took care of them all! I'm done with my share, too. Should we contact the Y Association now? Yeah. Just write up a short report. They won't believe all this fuss about cooking thoughts anyway. I'll go get some sleep first. Got it! The next day, I assume? Good morning, Detective Moses. You're a bit later than usual today, huh? Yeah. The line at Ham Ham Pong Pong was long today. Ham Ham Pong Pong reference! Guess everyone wants to check it out since it's the first to open in the north of the city. Oh, Ham Ham Pong Pong! Did you get some for me, too? Yeah. Got one for you, just in case. You like mustard, right? Mustard's flavor is great! Ah, this is why I sent us the reward just now. That quick. It only took them a day. I bet they scamped the paperwork. Anyway, to sum up this case, it was about an underappreciated cook who wanted to bring joy to people in their own twisted way. It was a crude story. We've had to deal with the distortion on our own a lot more often these days, now that I think about it. Why are the Wings and the other associations so passive about it? Monsters are actually appearing. Because none of them were noteworthy enough to even be an urban plague. Well, the pianist being the sole exception. Still, shouldn't someone be doing something about this? It's like a ticking time bomb. I bet a lot more people died to syndicates than to the distortion. Oh, by the way, you're not actually gonna cut my salary, are you? That stupid chef's food really was the cause. Try using that good memory for something better. I can hear you! And that was chapter 2. Now, we saw Ezra and Moses fight in Kanto 9, obviously. I don't recall their animations too much. So, I would imagine that she pulled out that same Sigma Workshop blade during that particular battle just because, like, fun reference. Yes, isn't that right, Spat? What does Spat think? Tell me all about it. Yes, tell us all your thoughts, since you're so determined. Yes, thank you. Anything else? Anything else, Spat? Are you certain? I feel like you got one more in you. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I could feel it. I could feel it in the air. Yes, I know my Spat. Take a drinky do real quick. Burp. Anyway. Damn you. Sorry, 1 second here again. Something's up with my stream preview over here. It keeps turning off. Stop doing that. Little thing. Anyway. Alright. And just like, okay, yes, Spat, thank you. Alright, that's enough. Come on. Stop screaming. Over here. That's enough. Anyway. Alright. On to chapter 3. The photographer. Ooh, photography. My word. A detective office for unsolved cases located in a 3-story building somewhere in the streets of District 14. It's a mystery how people manage to find their way to my humble office. There's rumors of a haunted alleyway. People who pass by it disappear. How do they disappear exactly? Ezra asks curious. Oh, of course, yeah, Ezra. Once again, in Project Moon, please! Identify people better! How do they disappear exactly? No one knows who disappeared or how. All we know is that someone disappeared somehow. Then it's either a manipulator, a memory manipulator, or a reality warper. But, oh my god. Okay, so both of these are Ezra. For God's sake, it makes it so difficult to voice act this when I don't know who's talking. Project Moon, please. No one knows who disappeared or how. All we know is that someone disappeared somehow. Then it's either a memory manipulator or a reality warper. But, detective, I thought reality warpers only existed in your theories? This might as well be our opportunity to see one for the first time. What's all this about? It's just our jargon. When did they go missing, by the way? Ezra changed the topic before the client could ask further. It's somewhere around the Plaza of Cherished Hopes. That's not too far from here. How did you know that people went missing? Used vehicles and objects were found abandoned in the street, like bicycles and cars. And most of all, the furniture in my attic was sorted as if someone had been living there until today. That means one of your family members has disappeared. Huh? But there's only 3 people in my family, and they're all fine. Me, my husband, and my child. We'll see if we investigate it. What if there really is another family member I've forgotten? What if there really is another family member I've forgotten, like you said? And if they're dead? The culprit should be killed. That's rather stern. Well then, we should start discussing the request fee. Ezra's eyes sparkled as she spoke. I left the financial management of our office to her. She has enough wits to figure out how serious or tough a request should be, so I can trust her to lead negotiations like this. I headed out to the terrace while Ezra and the client were busy bargaining. I smoked from my pipe, feeling the acrid breeze of the back streets. Still, this area is much clearer compared to the messy atmosphere during the Smoke War. Smoke War reference! I did know that Ezra was involved in the Smoke War because she talks about it with Gregor, obviously during the previous intervallo. So that was not a surprise, but I had to see it confirmed. Distorted creatures walk the streets anyways. Wondering how long I'll be doing this. I puffed tobacco smoke. But is it tobacco smoke? Is it really, Ezra? Is it really? Yeah, I mean, it could be, but, you know. I've seen what her smoke is capable of, so I'm not gonna take that one for granted there. Detective! I'm done writing the contract. The client went back to her home. Plaza of Cherished Hopes, was it? Get ready. Yes, Chief. Do I bring the usual gadgets? Ezra asked it as she stuffed equipment into her dimensional bag. Sure. I walked along the street with Ezra. The time is 2 p.m. Ta-da! Here we are at the Plaza of Cherished Hopes. What do we do now? Wait till the night falls? This case appears to be a location-type distortion, judging from the client's description. A powerful distortion can affect its surroundings as well, assimilating nearby objects into it. We should look for any distorted buildings. But only you can see those weird buildings, Detective. What can I do? See if there's any abandoned bikes around here, maybe. Windows with eyes, apartments floating in the air, doors with teeth, rooms filled with water. There are a lot more distorted buildings than it seems. It would be quite a sight if they manifested all at once. Now, which building to investigate first? I don't have any specific criteria set in mind. Some deduction, intuition are all it usually takes to figure it out. This one is a case of the distortion that devours people whole. The victims are soon forgotten by others. Why were they attracted to that distortion? I need the profiles of the missing people, but if no one knows who disappeared, it'll be difficult to figure out their common traits. Ezra, look for a place around here that provides goods or services for free. What? For free? Does that kind of place even exist? Preferably a place where people who don't have a job would go. And that is why it's easy to figure it out. The distortions of this city are actually rather simple to understand. There it is! A place called Lumiere's Soup Kitchen. Is it sponsored by anyone? Nope. Seems to be run by an individual. Lead me there. People who are destined to be forgotten in the city will naturally be attracted to free meals. Isn't this a photo studio? What? It looks like a worn-out tent, though? It's a distortion. Does that really look like a photo studio to you, detective? Mm-hmm. An age studio. So, this is the soup kitchen, right? Yep. The description says they were giving away free meals to children, or the elderly who are too poor to afford anything else. Do we use, yep. The description says they give, Do we use the ferry to enter? Huh? Don't you know how expensive it is to recharge the ferry? This is just an ordinary tent camp. All we gotta do is walk in. I asked because I'm seeing a door sealed with a lock. I don't like how you talk back. I'll be cutting off your salary. What? I'm just kidding. Aren't you having too much fun with that? Shakes my heart even if it's a joke. Say, should we wait till night? We can interfere with a distortion that's manifested this much already. Well, what are we waiting for then? Hold on. You shouldn't just barge off into a closed-off section of someone else's mind. I walked up to the door and gently knocked on it. Soon enough, the door was unlocked. Let's get inside. What did you just do? The entrance just opened up on its own. I simply showed courtesy. You told me not to use the ferry or anything. So, all I could do was knock on the locked door. A photo studio set up inside a wooden building. The whole building exudes the smell of hard wood, and large frames fill up the walls. Wow. It's much bigger on the inside. Now I see why you say it looks like a photo studio, detective. I guess it's visible to you now. Could those photos on the walls be the missing people? Perhaps. Each frame held a picture of corpses, various photographs of dead people. One common feature is that they all died indoors. Oh joy, isn't that lovely? I love that for us. They died indoors, isn't that great? I'm indoors. And here I thought that all the dangers were outside, but here we are. I appreciate the, it's very much in the Library of Ruina art style, and it's giving me nostalgia. I like it. It makes me happy. This room is breathing. You can feel its respiration, its beat. No one knows how many people this room has devoured. A dying elderly person stands before me. A lonely old person whose breath is fainter than the room's, forgotten by others. This aged person has brought and taken in people. As the doddering one faded from everyone's memories, so too did the people they took in. Not a single person knows them. They were here, dying all alone. This is a place of a memorial. A person whose head turned into a camera greeted us from behind. The four lenses on their head rotate disorderly, fixing their gaze onto me. Yikes! Surprised, Ezra fell on the floor.
I remember each person in their photograph. I take pictures of them and frame them.
Who are you?
I'm a photographer. I believe I should be the one asking who you two are, in fact.
This is Moses the Distortion Detective, and I'm the talented sidekick Ezra. She speaks with confidence, revealing our identity so shamelessly. We are fixers. We actually got a request about recent cases of disappearances. So, they do realize that some people have gone missing. What's the point of it all, though? They were already treated like invisible people before they disappeared. Did you lure them here with free meals to kill them? Ezra questions the person while looking at them with suspicion. See Project Moon like this, just let me know who's talking. This is great. Do that more often.
No, I didn't. I'm simply remembering the people who are bound to be forgotten. Like Mrs. Agnes over here. I take pictures of them so they can be memorialized in this room.
The old person standing before us must be Agnes. She's staring at the pictures hanging on the walls, letting out heavy breaths.
There are so many who die alone. I realized that as I worked. So I want to remember them.
What work? Kidnapping people?
No, not at all. My work accompanied by an awful stench. When its neighbors report the smell, I go and retrieve the body.
So, you were a mortician who usually dealt with people that died lonely deaths.
Yes. My work was to look for such bodies in the streets of District 14 and direct funerals for them. As part of the welfare plans of N-Corp's Nest, I've arranged funerals for 253 people, and not a single mourner showed up at all of them. I decided to take one last photograph of the dead before I retrieve their bodies, so that at least I could remember them.
And why is my audio cutting out so badly? Hang on a second. Noise gate. Let's turn the threshold down a little bit. There we go. Anyways. So, you weren't running this soup kitchen from the beginning?
I got fired. N-Corp's Nest said they don't need a useless undertaker like me. Funerals are for the living, after all. I'd meet the same fate, since I don't have anyone to remember me. For a life to be meaningful, the memories had to be passed on somehow. So we decided to remember each other, remember that we existed and lived in this city.
You are distorted. What you've been doing is kidnapping people coming to your tent for free meals, nothing more. You aren't the one to decide whether they'll die alone or not.
But it's obvious! It's so apparent that they'll all die alone in their rooms, abandoned and forgotten by all. We'll remember each other, and we'll be forgotten in peace. We have the right to not be neglected by everyone so ruthlessly.
And rob the people who still, I can't tell who's talking, I'm just guessing it's Ezra at this point, and rob the people who still remember them of their memories? You just kidnapped people who were in the same shoes as you, because you yourself were afraid of being forgotten. You took away their chances to be remembered. The lenses on their heads start rotating all of a sudden. I dodged to the side as soon as I heard the sound of something starting to run. I fell on my knees and faltered to the floor. My whole body feels numb, and sharp pain strikes my head. Detective!
Stay away from the lens. Don't let it take a full picture of you.
The sound of the lens rotating and the film being reloaded can be heard. When it takes a photo of someone, it draws something from that person.
I feel an acute twinge all over my body, as if numerous spikes were stabbing me. I remember a few that inflicted this kind of pain. Ezra! I'm putting up a smoke screen! Yes, Chief! I took out the smoke pipe from my coat and blew it out as hard as possible. The smoke covers the whole room. The camera flash goes off in random directions with each snap. Detective! What are we gonna do now? The type that shouldn't be allowed to see. I mustn't let it contain us in its sight. What's in your bag today? The usual. Stigma Workshop sword, Os Workshop gloves, Kui gloves, Nestor hammer, and... Throw the Kui gloves at me. Got it! Only Ezra can see me through this thick smoke. A pair of sky blue gloves flew across the room and I snatched them right away. I put on the gloves and slammed the wall with my hand. The wall begins to freeze over. I took a deep breath in from my pipe. The smoke that filled the room is sucked back into the pipe. A shiny wall of ice reveals itself. The lens flashed, taking a picture of its own reflection on the icy wall. Photographer fell down, cracks showing up on its head and lenses. Ouchies. You made others be forgotten because you didn't want to sink into oblivion alone. Perhaps, maybe I was the only one who had completely lost their chance to be remembered. After all, how many people have you locked in here? 57. Can you recover them? Yes, I can. Then your life is spared, at least. Bring them back now. But who will be there to remember me now? We will. Thank you. The photographer's head returned to normal. Only a single eye retaining the shape of a lens. The studio regressed to a tent, now full of people. The distortion was solved. We found the missing family member. He's the one, right? The client doesn't look too happy. Oh, yeah. My father's back. No wonder I forgot. Well then, shall we transact the remainder? Ezra counted the money with a smile, while the client and her father head back looking depressed. No one will welcome the outcome of this request. They'd have much preferred to just forget about the people who eventually made it back. They'd murmured to themselves about how they wished those people to disappear forever. I heard later that 58 people's worth of smoke quietly billowed out of crematoriums in the back streets of Encorp's Nest one day. And I simply remember. Any subscriptions or financial support will be greatly, okay, no, that's, yep, fair enough. Okay, chapter 3 done. Third of the way home to victory. Cheers, lads. What do you think, Spat? What does Spat think? Hi. And baby, What does Spat think? You'd make a good distortion detective, wouldn't you? Yeah, that's right. We're gonna go hunting distortions together, huh? You'll spot them and I'll take them down. What do you think? That's right. Okay. Just checking. You are indeed spying detective literature in the water, and we are reading Distortion Detective. Ooh. Greetings, Dr. Moses. It's been a while. An unwelcome guest visited me, an association fixer in Section 2 of the 7th branch, and my former assistant, Hee-Jun. Their eyes are just as arrogant as I remember. Must feel good to be playing in the big leagues way above me, doesn't it? Oh no, not at all. Hello, Hee-Jun Xiongbai! Ezra, you tactless dork. I hope you realize how much they're looking down on us by now. What are you doing here? Heading north all the way up... who's talking right now? God, I wish I could tell who's talking more often, Project Moon, please.
What are you doing up here? Heading north all the way up here from the south part of the city? Must be a complete mess down there with L Corp collapsing. You're sharp as always, Doctor. I'm actually here because of that. What? Look, I'm just too old to be getting myself involved with the wings. The distortion. You can still see it, right? I would have closed this office otherwise. I wonder how I appear to you then. Snobby prick. Always asking questions I'm not comfortable with. Well, your mouth is sewn up, it seems. Perhaps it's actually going to be zipped up soon enough. Actually, I can't see their face at all, other than their two eyes floating in the air. You haven't changed at all. Don't you need some funds? Do I look like I'm in a financial crisis? Then why else would you be doing work as silly as the Distortion Detective? I see. It's because you still can't forget about what you did back then. You still regret that, don't you? That's enough! Shut up, Hee-jun Sonbei! Ezra grabbed Han Hee-jun by the collar. The uncanny smile in their eyes still wouldn't go away. Let them speak on. Ezra and I were the only ones to survive your rampage that day. You are essentially responsible for our lives, Doctor. Ooh, a rampage, huh? Do tell, do tell. Tell me more, tell me more. What do you want me to do? Bite my tongue and die? I can't have you die on us easily. No. You still owe us so much debt. Get to the point. Why did you come all the way here from the south? I want you to head down there for a while. The summer branch is dealing with troubling incidents that are suspected to be cases of the distortion. We need your ability, Doctor. And please, stop with your shabby attempts to solve your cases. What we want is the distortion manifesting in its whole. Don't try to restore them. Just leave them be until they fully distort. What? Is the 7 into human experiments now? I suppose you could put it that way. I reserved 2 warp tickets departing from N-Corp's nest in 2 months, so take the train and visit our associate office once that time comes. No! Abort! Abort! Abandon ship! Do not! Don't get on the train! Never ever get on the train! Is it a request directly from the 7 Association? Yes. It's an urban nightmare class. You're free to deny it, of course. You don't care too much about belonging to associations, after all. But you might be able to meet a certain person at the end of this request. Leave the tickets here and sod off. I look forward to seeing you again, Doctor. The cloning murder train? Yeah, that's one way to put it. Yeah, it's the train that traps you aboard it for like, what, like 10, 20,000 years? And then they just basically like, yeah. And it's like, Etch a Sketch never happened. Don't worry, this clone of you is working great. Or something like that. I don't think it's actually a clone. I think they actually just like pull apart your genetics and like reconstruct you as you were before you board the train. But yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Never get on the train. Never ever get on the train. Hee-jun left, once again smirking with their eyes. Ezra, throw some salt. Oh, is that him? And once again, it's hard to tell who's talking sometimes. Ezra, throw some salt out the door or something. We don't have any salt in the office, though? Should I go buy some? You know what? I gotta buy some. I knew this day would come. The office feels like a devastated war zone after that snob swept by. I keep smoking until the evening, fighting the memories of my past. Yeah, pretty much. And judging by how things are going in Olympus Company, they're going to basically end the world in a way. Ezra, bring me a map of the city. Yes, Chief. but we don't have an officially printed map here. One sec, please. I'll try drawing one up. She's passionate in weird areas, and that's what makes her fit to be my assistant. Here, it's done. I made it using Picture Store. You call this a map? Well, it works. And yeah, I say it works. Yeah. I'd give it passes for everyone I could draw on the fly, that's for sure. Kind of the only thing I knew about. Of course it was. Of course it was. We live in District 14, which belongs to N Corp's Nest. Taking warp train is the only feasible way to get to District 11 and K Corp's Nest. I frankly want nothing to do with the white tie fixers in the south. But at the end of the day, I have no choice but to go. All because I committed an irreversible misdeed. It's actually kind of funny, I know, right? 2 months later, huh? Hijun Sunbei said this was related to L Corp. Then why aren't we just going straight to District 12 where L Corp used to be? I heard L Corp's nest has already fallen into absolute anarchy. They probably called us to stay in a safe place that's relatively close to it. The warp platform and L Corp's nest likely stopped operating anyways. Detective, are you really gonna drop solving distortions once we get there? Are we just gonna kill them? That's not up to me to decide. It'll depend on the severity of the distortion. Yeah, once again, why will the YouTube chat not work? I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. I really don't. I don't understand. Hang on. Oh, that's interesting. Hang on a second. Does the... No, it still looks the same. Okay. Yes, I made the city in MS Paint, yep. They really did, though. They really did. Oh my god, I just noticed that, hang on one second. So, they mentioned District 14 earlier in the story, and I quickly looked up which one District 14 is in, because obviously I know them better by their letter association rather than their district number. And so I literally Googled, District 14 Project Moon, and just to quickly see which one was N Corp, or which one that was, and that was apparently N Corp. And I just looked at the images tab, and it has the bloody thing right there. It has Ezra's map right there. That's amazing. Well played, Google. Well played. Oh, Lord. Now, if I could just get the YouTube chat to work bloody properly, that would just be grand. I don't know. How did I get to work, like, on that one stream, and then every stream since then, it's just been doing. I mean, it works perfectly on Twitch. Why is YouTube being such a pain? I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Let me see here. Something is going the wrong end. Yes, thank you, Spot. Thank you. Hi. Log in and connect to YouTube. Yeah, dashboard. There be a dashboard. Okay, Yes, over here. Am I me? We're just experiencing a bit of technical difficulties, and it's really driving me nuts. Hang on a second. It's the thing. Yes, I'm not seeing the thing that it's talking about here. Okay, so maybe that? I don't know. Yeah, I use Streamlabs. It's not a it is not a OBS thing. Literally, this was working perfectly like one time, and Twitch has never had a problem, right? Like, I had a couple fumbles setting it up, but that was completely user error. And then like it took a little bit more finagling to get YouTube working, but YouTube worked perfectly like one time, and then every time since then it's just been like burp. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Anyway, so I've done that, and now I'm going to do this real quick. Hang on. One more thing. All right. I'm going to refresh the cache one more time, and we'll just see from there, I guess. I don't know. I finagled a couple more settings. We're just going to go about our day now. I can't spend all bloody stream finagling with it. We'll get it right eventually. But what if we ran into a distortion that could be reversed if we tried? We can think about that later. There's still time. So let's do our work as usual for now. Got it. I'll go fetch our next request. All right, there's that. Chapter 4. God, please don't get on the train. If I go to the next chapter and it's just like them getting off the train, I'm going to be really upset. Because we all know what happened. Oh, my Lanta. Chapter 5, Mock Exam. The exam has begun. Hey, exam. Hold on. And accidentally like double click, right? Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Anyway. Yep, okay. Felt weird to go to an exam from there, but fine. It's been a week since Han Hee-jun stirred up a storm in my head. There's no point in being ambivalent about going there. I know that I have no other option. What am I agonizing for then? Detective, this request is about a high school. Ezra spoke in a cheery tone as usual. A school. Was it requested by its facility or the principal? No. This student here is our client. Hello. My name is Meryl. The girl shyly standing behind Ezra introduced herself. One of her legs is composed of numbers. Oh joy. Exam pressure! Okay, now I know why it's exam. Got it. Let's see. What's your school? I'm not sure if a student from the back streets even has enough money to make a request to our office. Detective, actually, she's a client. I mean, a student from a private high school inside N-Corp's nest. A student from a private school in the nest. The allowance these kids regularly get from their parents should be more than enough to pay us. I'm willing to play with those rich kids in their little detective games as long as the request fee is paid. So, what problem does our young client want us to solve? Actually, something strange is happening in our school. An important exam is ahead of us and everyone's on edge preparing for college admissions. It do be like that, don't it? High school students in the nest should aim for universities in the nest as a matter of course. The college scholastics ability test, held in most nests every year. This one exam determines a myriad of things. Getting low scores and going to a college in the back streets won't do you any good. Entering any college in the nest is pretty much the baseline requirement for joining a wing. So, the strange events happening in school must be disturbing your studies, and you want us to resolve it, right? It's not just about my grades. My friends got weird. The whole school is weird. The students and the teachers too. We need you to let us know what kind of strange occurrences are taking place before we can be of any help. They won't go back home at all. The classes won't end. All of the students. Yes, all of them. What about you? Only I could escape.
I was in the classroom when I came to my senses. It was past midnight. A teacher was watching us from the front of the class, and all my friends were absorbed in study, solving problems in workbooks. Aren't parents worried about their children not coming back home? Sorry, that was Ezra, apparently. My bad. Forgive me for not having the clairvoyant space brain to realize who's speaking in advance without you telling me, Project Moon. Aren't parents worried about their children not coming back home? Ezra asked, confused by the apparent strangeness. I like the translation note here. That makes me happy. Thank you for clarifying this for my American ignorance. It's Sung-yoon. It's Sung-yoon, soon enough. Our school's average scores for the mock test made up the top 10 in our nest. The parents must have been okay with however the school treated their kids so long as their grades were improving. How long has this anomaly been going on? The last thing I remember before I lost myself was 2 months ago. It was the day when the school announced that they're making a scholarship class. They said students with the highest grades would be selected. A distortion has lasted for 2 months. We should go there and see what's going on for ourselves. Ezra, we're heading into the nest. Yes, Chief! I'll get the fixer license and the association certificate. I don't really feel like staying in N-Corp's nest any longer than necessary. A place full of buildings painted in pure white. I'd end up going crazy in no time if I lived there. The squarish 5-story school building is also in white. Through the white gate is a white schoolyard. The school is dead silent. Then something foreign catches my eye. A red floating number on the rooftop of the school. 5. Meryl, what is the number on top of the school building? That shows how many days left until this year's final mock exam. It's painted in a menacing blood red. But, Detective! The number's white just like the rest of the school, though? It's a distortion. Red liquid drips from the number sign. Are there any procedures for us outsiders to take before entering? There are, but I don't think anyone cares right now. When we enter a school building, a noise can be heard. I was trying to make a scratch sound loud enough for the mic to pick up, but don't think it worked. I just slapped the mic at some point. The noise grew louder and more frequent. It hurts my head. What is that grating noise? It's the sound of students in each class solving problems and worksheets. They press the pencils against the paper so hard when they write. I looked through the windows of a class designated 1-7. 40 students had their heads fixed inches above their desks, only their hands moving briskly. What do those students look like to you, Detective? Amalgamations of numbers and school uniforms. Thank you, Norvin. Yeesh. That means the distortions progressed by a lot, right? They're pretty much distorted already. What do you mean by distorted? That means the strange events you described are happening in real life. Something showed up from the end of the corridor. It was a moving wall, big enough to blockade the corridor completely. Warning, warning. Students who do not study will face disciplinary action. Detective, it's a distortion! I can see it too! A formula is written on the wall. A distortion made of math problems. This world is never short of oddity, is it? This one seems to be a calculus problem. Ezra, can you solve that problem for us? No. Why did I even bother asking? Accounting is the only kind of calculation she's good at. How about you, Meryl? Well, I'm more of a humanities major. Oh. Behind us is a dead end. We have to make a breakthrough anyhow. All we have to do is solve that math problem on the wall, but no one is up for it. When suddenly she's playing a game of Math Blaster. Guess it's up to me now. Is Math Blaster still a thing, or is it just like my age showing again?
Hang on, I gotta Google that actually. When was the last Math Blaster game? Oh boy, this is gonna hurt my feelings. Hold on a moment. When, damn it, I can't type. When was the latest Math Blaster game released? Oh boy. Let's see here. 2006, 20 years ago. Awesome. Great, thanks. Right. Anyway. Moving on. I took out my ballpoint pen and wrote down an answer on the approaching wall. Wrong answer. You will attend supplementary lessons. Now. Knew it. The wall pressed against us. So this is how it ends. I should get someone smart to be my assistant next time. My consciousness fades. When I woke up, I found myself sitting at a desk in a classroom, wearing the school's uniform. Students around me are still busy solving problems on the worksheets. How much time has passed? A red number 30 floats at the center of the class. The last one I saw read 5. That means we traveled back to the past. Could this be a case of the distortion that can reverse the flow of time? A sudden burst of force pressed my head from behind. My face was slammed to the desk. Solve the problems, an impressive voice ordered me. I skimmed through the worksheet on my desk. Blending 3 humans in a mixer generates 10 units of energy. Given these conditions, what's the optimal solution to dismember 2 humans to generate 15 units of energy? Let's see here. That is the most optimal solution. I'm actually trying to think about this as if I can solve this. It's probably not actually solvable. It's probably just like a mock problem that has no actual solution. But, you know, I felt like giving it a go. Let me think here for a moment. Let me engage my thinking brain. Blending 3 humans in a mixer generates 10 units of energy. Given these conditions, what is the optimal solution to dismember 2 humans to generate 15 units of energy? So each human is generating approximately 3.33 units of energy, but that's between mixing and dismembering. Yeah, I don't think there's actually a solution or a solution that we can get because we don't know how much energy humans generate when they're dismembered. What do you want from me? 23. Chul Su wants to be an artist. The wing Chul Su has to go to does not need any artists. Given these conditions, how many dreams does Chul Su kill? 1! 45. There's a cube composed of minuscule humans. The cube factory must meet a certain quota each day. An eyeball can be squeezed for a hexagon. When O is the outer center of the left eye, or when 0 is the outer center of the left eye, how many Ryas do you need to make a cube with the side links that are 4 meters long? Yeah, you know, I wouldn't feel bad for failing this quiz, quite honestly. I think we can all agree that this quiz is for the birds. No offense, Bat. A distorted school giving out distorted problems. They must constantly print out meaningless problems that'll be solved without any significance. Detective? I have no idea what any of these problems say. Ezra's seat was right next to mine. She's looking at me, her face on the verge of tears. I barely lift my head to look at the number again. 17. So that was in minutes, not days. Let's wait until the exam starts. Just write down random things on the worksheet for now. Got it. A voice could be heard. You have 10 minutes until the mock exam starts. You must strive to solve as many problems as possible. This is all for the sake of your future. The problems you solve now will be your weapons later in life. The number reaches 0. Ding dong, ding dong. Commencing the mock exam. With that announcement, the school crumbled. All that remained were students on a white plain. Then a tall staircase rose from the middle of the field. A trophy was placed on top of it. The exam has begun. Detective! Is this a distortion too? I can't believe this. It seems it's time to update my information on the distortion phenomenon. Keep it together, detective. We gotta run for now. It appears that a massive world of its own can be created when the interests and desires of a large group of people coincide. This is my first time seeing a distortion occur at this scale. What's it? Fathoms of ego, I think we call it. It's been a while. It's been a while since I could hold my head up high. Sorry. Anyway, what do you think, Spot? What does Spot think? My goodness. My goodness, my gracious. Yeah, hi. Hi. What are we doing? What are you doing? My goodness, what are you doing? Yeah, is it time for cuddles? Yeah, it's okay. I understand. Yeah, Spot needs cuddles. I know, he's such a hard-working bird, and he needs cuddles. You know, my goodness. He works so hard. Yeah, it's okay. Let's see. Mass distortion. This entire school is distorted. No, it's not the school building itself. Every student in it is distorted. All the students run toward the staircase, trying to climb up it. Some trying to nail down the students ahead of them, while others push away the students behind them. It's like an academic version of Mario Kart. The numbers add and subtract each other. They multiply and divide by each other. Decimal points pour out of their bodies. Lovely. This is a war zone for a very vicious battle. A war where everyone recognizes each other as numbers. No other words are needed. In this scene of numerical violence, they must add to themselves and divide others. The problems they've solved so far become weapons to kill each other. When the student assaults another with numbers, the numbers on the victim's head fall off. The number students won't attack us. Perhaps lowly numbers sitting at the bottom of the staircase like us aren't worth their attention. Hey, fixers! I'm up here! It's Meryl. Her distortion has progressed much more in the short span of time we were separated from her. She was already halfway up to the top of the stairs. Meryl! You should come back down here! Ezra yelled. Meryl, there's no reason to climb those stairs. This is a war. A gamble. Fighting against each other with knowledge and grades on the line. If you don't climb those stairs, you'll be safe from it. No! I'll stay here. We all agreed on this to decide who gets to advance to the scholarship class. Meryl replied, killing other students. You're taking part in this massacre. I'm already halfway there, though. I can go further. A 7 struck Meryl's head out of nowhere. The numbers in Meryl's head scattered about as she fell to the floor. I can hear the sound of numerous students hitting the floor. The noises of students killing each other. Ezra has turned away from the sight, looking at the floor. I silently continue to watch the staircase. A student with a giant number for a head reached the top of the stairs at last. The exam is over. Knowledge and grades will be redistributed to students based on how high they are on the staircase. The top 20% will be designated as the scholarship class and receive the honor of representing our school. With a flash, the school returned to normal. The students were all in their seats as if nothing had happened. I can see Meryl among them. Meryl! Are you alright? Ezra ran toward Meryl to check on her. Meryl gave us a blank stare, muttering meaningless words. She had everything taken from her. This is absurd. It was a consequence of Meryl's own choice. There's no need for you to feel guilty about it. But... let's just head back. We couldn't solve this distortion. We can't expect to solve every problem in the world. I took out my pipe from its Aaron coat pocket. Why are distorted people all so irrational? They're all too extreme.
They distort because their minds are driven into a corner. That impatience leads to a leap in logic. 40% of his school's graduates are said to be living in seclusion, having failed to enter into any college. However, the scholarship class demonstrated an unprecedented amount of successful admissions to prestigious universities, bringing the school fame and many more inquiries for entrance. The students who have successfully climbed up the stairs killing each other will grow into feathers of the wings, fluttering those wings as the city soars.
Lovely.
Alright, next one. Chapter 6.
Smoking pipe.
Smoking's bad, okay? Don't go smoking, kids. Yeah. It's interesting, though. So I assume that school was just like, became a, like the Fathoms of Ego that we've seen so many different times in Limbus Company. I don't know that for sure, but that seemed to be what she was describing, at least to my untrained eyes. Some say those students are still there to this very day. Hi, Spat. Yeah, hi. Yeah, my Spat is here. My goodness. He was so very cuddly. We have 1 month until we leave for District 11. I've accepted taking Han Hee-jun's offer to be an effective truce at this point. And I imagine it will be a long trip. We might never come back even. We're shopping at the Workshop Boulevard today. That means we also get to eat outside, right? We're not going there for leisure. I know, but our purpose of a visit is to request the workshops for equipment and gadgets we need in our office. Ezra spoke with excitement. This could be our very last chance to shop. I know that too. We gotta leave in a month. You can stay here if you want to. I just can't let you eat all those treats down there by yourself, though. I have a feeling I mix up who was talking in these last two, but again, I don't feel bad because it's so difficult to tell who's talking and when. The workshops in the boulevard treat various necessities and supplies as well as equipment for fixers. Therefore, it's important to pick the right workshops according to your needs. Of course, workshops try to advertise themselves as well. Some become known through word of mouth, despite how complicated it can be to navigate the products at a workshop. I don't expend any effort towards looking for adequate workshop goods myself. My assistant Ezra here is a maniac for workshop products. She seems to have a peculiar tendency to prefer more expensive workshops, but she does a lot of research on various gears and gadgets, and the ones she purchases end up being quite reliable. She's pretty much stuffed her personal collection of gadgets in the dimensional bag by now. Yeah, we have sure seen that in play, by God, and so is Matthias. Hee hee. I guess Kira by extension, but you know. Detective! The workshops I frequent are all sold out of our request slots. I wonder what's up. I don't know. Maybe the fingers are out wreaking havoc on some place we haven't seen. So, have you failed to get any of the equipment we wanted? Yepper, I have. We're not gonna get the gadgets in time if I request for any of them later. Ezra mumbled. I walked the streets, believing things will work out somehow. Detective! Behind us! Yes. A bunch of nuisances are after us. Could they be from a syndicate? Maybe an office of fixers, or perhaps a wing? Whichever they may belong to, they're all essentially the same. They want to extract information from me. Well, to have a friendly chat with the fellows following us in the streets like this, we need to go deeper into the alleys. We slowly walk into the complex alleyways, intertwined like a maze. Steel doors are lined up on the walls, guarding residences that don't appear to be well maintained. The time is noon. The noise of pedestrians fades away, while the footsteps of our pursuers become louder. We've arrived at a dead end, an empty lot. This is our favorite spot for conversations, an obscure corner in the streets with no witnesses. And even if a witness were to exist, they won't be able to go anywhere from here. Now, what could you be wondering about, friends? So much as to follow us all the way out here? I took out my pipe from its inner coat pocket and held it between my lips. That's a lot of people. I'm seeing around 30 of them.
They're all wearing green suits. The distortion doesn't seem too bad, all of them holding weapons like bats and knives. One in a green fedora walks up to us and starts speaking. Are you Moses, the fixer from Cookie Street? Cookie Street? Is that literally your office is on Cookie Street? That's amazing. Yes, I am. I answered with a smile. We'd like to purchase that long smoking pipe you're carrying. That was unexpected. Someone already has intel on my pipe. For how much? Ezra asked with sparkling passion in her eyes. 100 million on. Nay, this thing's worth at least 500 million. There's no way we're negotiating for a price that low, right, detective? Ezra said in a rather disappointed tone. Not even 500 million on could buy it. This is essentially part of me, you see. I never fathomed the idea of selling it to anyone. Who told you about this pipe, by the way? That's unfortunate. We were looking forward to a graceful trade. The one in the fedora walked back and blended into the group. Ezra, can you handle them all on your own? Yes, Chief! Ezra yelled as she put her dimensional bag on the ground. Street combat loadout! In response to Ezra's command, the Nestor hammer flew into her hand as she got equipped with Atlas Workshop gloves. The group of 30 people started charging us all at once. Ezra blocks off the cramped passage to the empty lot by herself as she takes on the gang one by one. Alice Workshop, yes, thank you, Spat, thank you, yes, hi. Alice Workshop gloves can accelerate the movement of her hands by 5 times the velocity. Activating the gloves, she swings her Nestor hammer, a small one-handed hammer suited for combat in confined spaces such as the alleyway we're in right now. The hammer is capable of delivering impact to a large area of the object its head comes into contact with. When the Nestor hammer hits one hoodlum in green with such accelerated force, it punches a wide hole through the chest. She violently swings her other hand to crush the jaw of another ruffian rushing at her. She breaks the bones and smashes the flesh of one mobster at a time. But not even her superior physique could impede them all from getting through the passage. Most of all, Ezra's not being serious in the first place. Please take care of the one I missed, detective. I'm cutting your salary. What? I let out a crimson red breath. The smoking pipe emitted a scarlet glow before assuming the shape of a sword. I grabbed its handle and prepared to talk. I positioned myself and stabbed the blade into the neck of the thug running at me. With elegance and composure in every step, I punctured a red hole in the body of each gangster coming at me. The strong scent of blood soon filled the alleyway and the lot. Did she ever make a sword out of the smoke in Canto 9? I don't recall her doing that. She definitely used the smoke a lot, don't get me wrong, but I can't recall a time of her actually making a weapon out of the smoke that she breathed. That's really cool. I wish we had seen that animated. Alas, you can't have it all, I suppose. You just can't have it all. I want it all. I want it all. I want it all. And I want it now. Sorry. Excuse me. Detective! That fedora guy is trying to run away! Ezra yelled at me, her body covered in blood. I breathed a violet breeze into my pipe. The pipe began flailing around as it elongated, and soon shifted into a whip with purple thorns growing out of it. I lashed out my pipe to snatch the ankle of the person in fedora. I stumbled and fell flat onto her face into a pool of blood. Ezra drags the fallen mobster and drops him in front of me. Womp womp. Psych, you thought! Tell me, who gave you the information about my pipe? I was trying to avoid using it too often so I wouldn't draw unnecessary attention. I'm afraid I cannot say. Ezra, go have some nice heart-to-heart talk with this fellow. Leaving the interrogation to Ezra, I smoked alone in the empty lot. Sorry, 1 second. Da-da-da. Why have you done this? Anyway, alright, there we go. Something's being silly on the technology end, we're fine. Or were they? Not so long after, Ezra came back with a person whose face was now mashed pretty badly. Detective! This one seems to have a lock on their brain or something. I can't get them to spill the beans no matter what I do. I lifted the head of the mobster and took a look at the back of their head. The tiny logo of J Corp is branded in it. Indeed, it's locked with a singularity. The client must have spent quite a bit of money. Still, there's a way, so long as it's not the more expensive type. I exhaled a white puff of smoke through the pipe. The smoke coiled around the mobster's body. Now, take a deep breath in. They began to tremble as they inhaled the smoke. You're not acting of your own will anymore. You're obeying my will. The lock will obstruct your thoughts no longer. They slowly began to speak at last. Yuria Atelier wanted to study the mechanisms of that pipe. Said it's okay for us to kill as long as we brought the thing. Ezra's eyes were wide open, shocked by what she just heard. Ezra, do you know anything about Yuria Atelier? Of course! It's a premium workshop, only accessible to people with their membership. It's probably one of the top 10 workshops in District 14, I think. The workshop's maniac eyes sparkled as she gave me the explanation. Then why couldn't we join that membership? The conditions are a bit tricky. I don't think they'll accept us. They want to study the mechanisms of the smoking pipe, huh? I'm interested in learning how this thing works as well. Do you think that workshop could provide us with the gear we need? Yeah, you bet! They must certainly have the skills. Ezra, lead me to this Yuria Atelier. Let's say hello to whoever tried to get us killed, and take this slug with us just in case. Womp womp. Someone gonna get a talking to. Hee hee. Hi. Oh, now we got a cheeky report. Moses' office. They handle mysteries and unsolved cases. Oh, do they now? Name, Moses. Age, 49. Gender, female. Affiliation, 7 Association. Grade 5 Fixer. Height, 156 centimeters, 5'1". Oh, is she tiny? Hobbies, closing her eyes and indulging in deep thought. Cleaning her smoking pipe. You have to clean it? I guess you would. What is this, Bat? What? What is it? Hi. Yeah, hi. What's your matter? What's got you worked up? It's okay. We're all right. Yeah, everything's okay. Not getting dark, is it? No. It's pretty not. Sun is still high in the sky. It's not dark. We're fine. Everything's okay. I promise. It's all okay. Specialties, concentration, quick wits. Birthday, November 30th. Likes tobacco, spending time calmly immersed in thought. Yeah, I bet that doesn't happen often these days. F in the chat for Moses being able to think clearly around Ezra. Dislikes whiners, impatient people, noise, all the noise. If there's one thing I hate, all the noise. Don't mind me just knocking my mic across the desk. It's fine. Name Ezra, age 28, gender female, affiliation 7 Association. Oh, so she's also from the 7 Association. I see. Grade 3 Fixer. Oh my. 2 grades above Moses, the one that called that. Okay, go on, Ezra. Hobbies, collecting workshop weapons, snacking on cookies while the detective isn't looking. Odd hobby, but go off, I guess. Specialties, request fee negotiation, hectic brawling. Birthday, January 27th, likes expensive and powerful weapons, sweet sugar, coffee and cake, small animals, houses, ham-ham-pam-pams, mustard sandwiches. Dislikes, waiting for Moses to finish thinking, it's understandable. Flowers, she's allergic to them. All flowers? I guess that can happen. All right. Chapter 7, Yoria Atelier. Atelier. Nya, 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 nya. Go on then. Oh. 1 second here. Where'd my water go? And my air drink. Where'd my water? Ah, there you are. Come here, you. Ugh. Oh, I do this to myself. Ezra leads the way, carrying the fedora mobster on her shoulder. She seems excited to visit the esteemed workshop she's never gotten to enter before. The mobster with a smashed face tries to negotiate with us. Hey, don't take me to Yuria, please! She's gonna use me as her test subject, I'm sure of it! Should we really care for the well-being of a crook who tried to kill us? Yeah, just kill me now. Whoever die here and be brought back to that sick bastard. All the more reason to take you to her then. I answered, smoking from my pipe. Whoa! I used to just take a peek at this place when I walked by. And we finally get to see what's inside! Is this the place? Seems pretty small for a renowned workshop. A square building about 3 meters tall stood by itself at the center of the street. The small letters on the workshop door read, Yoria Atelier. Under that was a kind of instruction that read, please knock only if you are a part of our membership. I read that, and I read in a catalog that Yoria Atelier is run by one person. I think that's why it's so small. I assume it only produces goods in small quantities then. That's not the case, actually. I heard the workshop values both quality and quantity. That's rather suspicious. But before that, how do we get in there now? I could have Ezra break through a door of this size, but as with most things in the city, you should never judge something by looks alone. The door could be very well armed with some foolhardy security device that melts whoever touches it without authorization. Hey, Fedora, how do I get into this workshop? You gotta have a membership. Well, do you have it? Our syndicate took on the job so that we could get it. How did you meet Yuria then? Detective, actually, Yuria Atelier chooses its own clients. The workshop sends membership invitations to potential patrons, but we haven't gotten anything yet. What kind of stupid criteria makes this fedora-wearing moron eligible and not us? You tell me. Fedora, go open that door. What? No way. Who knows what kind of security system I have? How about this then? If you do as I say, I won't hand you over to Yuria. You promise? Sure. Fedora walks over to the door. They broke into a cold sweat, hesitating to touch the door, before finally reaching out to the door handle. Nothing happens yet. They turn the handle and slowly pull it. The door opens, revealing a staircase leading underground. It seems to go pretty deep down. I knew the workshop couldn't be this small. Wow! Detective! I guess the real workshop is down there. I'm free now. Take the lead. Damn it. We walk downstairs. Tremors can be felt coming from below. My instincts tell me this is no ordinary quiver. Something is approaching us, and quickly. Hello, Jacob. Welcome back. Yep, YouTube chat is still not working. Well, I'm out of ideas of what more I can do, so I have to mess with it later, see what's going on with stream elements and why it is so determined to hate. I got no idea at this point. Very sorry, everybody, for we're trying here. I'm trying here. I'll faff about it again after the stream. Try to debug it. I have no idea why it worked the first time and not this time. Or any other time since then. Let's see. Detective! What's that? Actually, what is that? A boar? A bear? A giant creature is running toward us. It's a teddy bear! So cute! Ezra gleefully spoke with a twinkle in her eyes.
What it's about to do to us doesn't seem very cute.
The giant teddy bear charged at us on all fours. Oh god. Do not hug the teddy bear. Is that a part of this workshop security system? Curious. Or perhaps it's... Ezra, stop that thing. Yes! The teddy bear swung its paw at the fedora mobster in front of us, removing the upper half of his body in one unclean swipe. Well, rip fedora, bro. Spicy fist mode! Ezra equipped their Namir workshop gauntlets on her both hands. I think they meant both her hands. Boom! The impact of Ezra clashing with the teddy bear sent the shockwaves through the basement. Ezra's body is augmented through an expensive and unusual procedure. I must say, that teddy bear is impressive in its own right for enduring her sheer strength. With a shout, Ezra pushed the bear away and activated her gauntlets. G-Corp Singularity is applied to Namir Workshop gauntlets. The weight of the sphere embedded in the center of the gauntlets can be freely controlled. Ezra raised the weight of her gauntlets and punched the rushing teddy bear in the head. Boom! With a loud noise, cotton stuffing burst into the air. Ezra's fist ripped a large hole in the teddy bear's head. She continued to pummel the bear with both her hands, punching even more holes in the teddy bear's body. Cotton stuffing exits the bear and fills the air with each hit, till the bear was torn beyond recognition. I did a good job, right? Ezra spoke triumphantly. You did indeed. The fact that the teddy bear had nothing but cotton inside of it still bothered me. Going further down, we arrived at a large corridor. What awaited there caused by surprise. This place is a real piece of work. No wonder we couldn't... I think this is Moses actually, damn it. This place is a real piece of work. No wonder we couldn't be invited to that membership. Yeah. I wasn't expecting this much. The whole workshop is a distortion. Teddy bears of various sizes are moving diligently. This place is like an automated factory. Whoever is running this factory should be avoiding us if they know anything about the work we do. They're using the distortion to operate their workshop, so they obviously wouldn't want it to be solved. Oh, they're so cute, though! For you, maybe. At least you have the strength to fend off those teddy bears if they tried to kill you. Walking past the industriously working teddy bears, we reach the end of the corridor. A big workbench is placed there. Other than its enormous size and use of too many vibrant colors, it appears to be a regular workbench, and someone is standing before it, as if she was waiting for us the whole time. Oh my gosh! Yuria! Ezra hopped up and down in excitement. She then took something out of her bag and approached Yuria with a lopping stride. What is she trying to do? Autograph this book here, please! Ezra pleaded, bowing her head. I've been collecting autographs of workshop meisters in this book, you see? Yuria approached me, paying absolutely no attention to Ezra. You must be Moses. I was waiting eagerly for you. And your pipe, too. Yuria spoke in a youthful voice, a clear and bright voice. The gleam in her eyes was different from Ezra's. There's plenty of workshop equipment that can change form, but that pipe of yours is fundamentally different. I'm sure you're aware of it. It even modifies one's physical makeup without any surgeries or procedures. When did you get that pipe? How did you learn to use it? I've been looking for such an object for so long. I know, right? Detective Smoking Pipe is so mysterious, right? Ezra chimed in, quickly shoving her booklet back into the bag with her face turning red. How distracting. Yeah, 100% is gonna be Dawn. I mean, why wouldn't it be? I never quite expected the talented Meister to be such an arrogant chatterbox. She's not the kind of person I want to be entangled with. You know the Red Mist, the legendary fixer. Is that the fucking Red Mist? Sorry, you have to do the thing every time. Literally required. Yeah, I met her a couple of times.
The Red Mist, fabled tales of heroics weren't born out of nothing. The weapons she used to brandish and the clothing she used to wear were actually the same sort of equipment as the smoking pipe you're using. Oh, Brian, thank you for the cheers. Much obliged. Sorry, 1 second here. Sorry. Yes, indeed. Oh, nope, Spat, what have you done? Why have you done this? Don't do that. Spat hopping on my keyboard and hitting all the things. Alright, no, go on. Now you're being a menace. Now you're messing with the stream integrity. Anyway, thank you, Brian, so much for the 1,000 jewels. Here, Spat, I'll tell you what, I'll turn on the light. Here. It's still daytime, but here, I'll turn on the light. Go play with the light, see? Head toward the light. Just don't talk to the lady inside of it. Yuria paused for a moment. I'm sure you can feel it too, maybe vaguely. That smoking pipe resonates with your emotions. She's right. The pipe is nowhere as simple as the likes of a mechanical arm that moves according to command. Jacob, thank you so much for the 200 jewels. Appreciate it, guys. My goodness. Y'all are, you're all overwhelming me with the donations today. My goodness, you're breaking me. Breaking me a little bit. My word. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you, honestly. He said something. Well, regardless of why you did it, I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Wonder if YouTube gave people a bunch of jewels just randomly, and maybe that's why. I'm not questioning it. I've been running this workshop not just to earn cash, but to gather information from the area around me. All the places I've been to before were busts. But look at this! Bzzzt. A video starts playing from the screen behind Yuria. It's footage of us finding syndicate gangs in the empty lot earlier today. Astonished, Ezra covered her mouth with her hands. Recorded footage. You had the audacity to break the taboo of District 14? Are young people these days all bold and brash like you? No, it's okay. No, it's a taboo specifically of District 14. Anytime I think taboo, I think the head. So I got flummoxed for a moment. I was like, what do you mean broke a taboo? If she broke a taboo, how is she still alive? Or how are there not a bunch of claw corpses around me? Yuria went on without care for our reactions. Behold, her graceful maneuvers and this elegant smoke. I'm about to fall in love. My expectations were right, Moses. You're the one I've been looking for. Scratch that and just tell me. Do you know how my pipe works or not? No, I don't. Not yet, anyway. Though I could try to study it now, perhaps I could even improve it into something greater. If we work together, of course. She is a nuisance for sure. But to learn more, I must know more about this power given to me. So, how are you going to study it? By looking into your mind. I'll need to know you. It takes time to get to know each other. How's this sound, Moses? Are you prepared to show me your heart? Detective? Do you really trust her? I mean, she sounds so suspicious? Ezra yelled in a panic. Moses, you're going to trust me no matter what. I know you can see it. Right. What can I do for you then? I answered softly. Detective! Ezra was desperate to make me reconsider. Yuria slowly walked towards me and whispered into my ears. I'll be your assistant. I want to watch you from up close. I'll make gear and equipment just for you. I want to be of help to you. All so you can open up your heart to me. Yuria smiled. I put my hand on my forehead for a moment. This reminds me of some unpleasant memories of my past. I remember meeting someone just like her. I had no other option then, and I have no other option now. The lifeline that descends upon me when there's no other way out. The rope I must hold on to. These are the only kind of opportunities that ever come to me. Ezra, we're going back to the office.
Yes, Chief.
With Yuria. Empty a storage room for her.
What?
Yuria followed right behind me. It took Ezra a moment to get moving. The storage room in our office was remolded into Yuria's personal space. She promised to make equipment for us under one condition: that we take her with us whenever we set off to solve cases.
Detective? It's so weird. Why aren't you solving her distortion? She broke a taboo of the district too.
Yeah, don't break a tattoo of the district, guys. That's really bad. Ezra complained that she stuffed Hum Hung Pong Pong's mayonnaise-flavored sandwich in her mouth. I'm simply making use of Yuria's strength, and I have you to count on, so don't worry. I soothed Ezra. I imagine she's going to be sulky for a while. I, Moses, have no trust in other human beings. I do not trust the words of Yuria, a stranger. I simply trust my eyes. She is not distorted. I do not see any distortion from Yuria.
My word. Finally, another person without distortion. Ooh. It's kind of giving me Song of Saya vibes, but without any of like the absolute psychological horror elements. Anyone out there familiar with Song of Saya? If you are, I'm very sorry. I hope the therapy's going well. 3 people sat around the dining table for 2. It's early in the morning, and Ezra is already glaring at Yuria. She must be irked by this little intruder that popped into our ordinary life. It's curious how you can stare at me for 30 minutes straight, all while having breakfast. Wouldn't you agree, Detective? Yuria spoke with a smile. You small little thing?
Detective Moses, it looks like Ezra is mocking us for our height.
That's not...
Noises. My head is ringing. The rice is well cooked. Yeah, I'm losing my appetite thanks to the noisy ruckus those 2 are causing. This has been going on for a week. I'd hate to have to deal with this every morning for the rest of my life.
Quiet!
They yelped as I kicked them in the shin. Could you keep it down while we're eating at the very least? Ezra and Yuria nodded. My appetite is finally restored in the fresh serenity. I place a quail egg boiled in soy sauce on warm rice and eat it. Ooh, that sounds good, actually. I'm gonna buy some quail eggs after I boil them in soy sauce. See how that goes. The food we bought with Ron's side dish stall, a grocery store that recently opened up near our office, turned out to taste good. I should visit them more often. After visiting the meal, I head out to the terrace to smoke as per my daily routine. Also, I'm just now realizing we got quails in the city. Ezra, do the dishes.
Yes, Chief.
Listening to the sound of Ezra washing dishes, I puff out tobacco smoke and look out below. The store creatures are heading to the store workplaces as usual. This scenery of the street will forever be the same. Yuria, is the gear all finished? Sure thing. 11 pieces in total, right, Detective Moses? 11 pieces of equipment in just 1 week. That's quite impressive. Besides, the gear was commissioned by Ezra, not me. Likely she must have asked for complex, elaborate gadgets to spite her. Their quality is yet to be demonstrated, but the production speed is certainly on the level of a Meister. Ezra, is that the correct amount? Ezra stopped cleaning the dishes for a moment and nods while staring at the plate she's holding. It seems like the 2 won't even properly talk to each other anytime soon. If you keep refusing to cooperate with each other, I'm cutting your salaries, you 2. I don't mind that, though. I'm not working here for the money, after all. Yuria responds nonchalantly.
I don't mind that either, Detective. You don't have to pay me all this month.
I can't believe Ezra would go so far as to say that. These 2 make such a childish pair. I place my hand on my forehead. I don't care what the hell you do with each other. Just don't let your little feud disturb our work. Yes. Got it. We haven't had any noteworthy requests since we took in Yuria. They were all trivial matters where I didn't have to use my pipe, and most of them weren't even cases of the distortion at all. I expected Yuria to be disappointed by this uneventfulness.
but she seems hardly bothered. I went downstairs with my pipe still in my mouth and rummaged through the request box. An envelope happens to be waiting for me. I tore it open and read the paper inside. This case smells like a big one. The three of us walk the street together. Did you get requests from companies too? Yuria asks. Companies in the back streets are our most frequent clients, in fact. They love to simply pass the burden of dealing with troublesome incidents onto the offices that specialize in solving them. I answered, holding my pipe between my teeth. Ezra is following us a few steps behind in silence. I suppose I should try to humor her today. We arrived at the company building. It's a rather large enterprise that occupies the entirety of a 10-story building. Perhaps it's a subcontractor of a wing. Ezra and I presented our fixer IDs as well as the letter of the request to the lobby while Yuria showed them her workshop union certificate. We received a visitor pass each and wore them around our necks. The security guard waiting for us at the elevator confirmed the passes and asked for our destination. Floor 8. I don't know who was talking there. Giving a brief answer, we took the elevator up to the floor written in the letter of the request. When the elevator doors opened on the 8th floor, someone greeted us. Ah, hello, dear fixers. I've been waiting for you. Here's my business card. The card introduced him as Kang Jinsil, section manager of Taeyong Produce Co. I've requested 3 offices about this matter so far, but none of them could resolve it. If this problem isn't fixed in time, I'm gonna get fired, and all of my subordinates will get sacked too. You don't worry anymore. Detective Moses over here will elegantly take care of the case for you. Yuria intervened, while Ezra remained quiet. Greetings. I'm Moses from Moses' office, handling mysteries and unsolved cases. May I ask who recommended our office to you? The, Ame office recommended you to us. They said Moses' office should be the perfect fit for this kind of case. Ame office. That must be where Kaoru is. The kid likes to complain, but they subtly care for us quite a bit. Let's get right to the point. Where are the people suffering from the symptoms you described in the letter of the request? Those employees are actually in the sleeping chamber on the 4th basement floor, not up here. A sleeping chamber? What is a sleeping chamber doing in the company? For sleeping. Duh. Idiot. That means this is a corrupt company that forces employees to work overtime so often they don't get any time to go back home for sleep. Ezra replied in a plain tone. Oh my. Well, it's not just us, you see. Most firms do the same these days. Manager Kang appeared rather perplexed by what Ezra said. Please, lead the way then. Of course. This way, please. We got back on the elevator. Manager Kang tagged their security key card on the elevator's control panel, revealing a set of buttons that lead to the basement floors. This company building goes as deep as 15 floors underground. One could very well run into some hidden labyrinths. I keep wanting to say hidden labyrinth, I don't know why. One could very well run into some hidden ruins at this depth. Yeah, well, I mean, it pretty much is, really. It's not uncommon. I think they have those in Japan, too. No, Spat, leave the wires alone. Come on. No. Be a naughty bird. Go on. I'm not interested. Go on. Stop that. No. You leave the wires alone. They're not for Spat. Yeah, you know. And I know that you know. My goodness. What kind of produce company goes so deep underground? Ezra asked. I'm afraid I can't answer that in detail. You could just think of the underground space as our warehouse. Manager Kang answered as they pressed a button to the 4th basement floor. With a jingle, the elevator arrived at its destination. We were met with complete darkness when we stepped out. Oh my, why is it so dark in here? Because it's where people sleep. Duh. Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, same. I was thinking the exact same thing. It's like, well, I mean, it's where people sleep. Idiot. Stupid idiot. I mean, what else would it be? Am I right? And who sleeps with the lights on? Well, a nightlight maybe, but full lights? Nah, no, ain't nobody do that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ezra answered Yuri's question again. Manager King groped along the wall looking for a light switch, and soon enough, orange light bulbs on the ceiling lit up, one row at a time. Flick, flick, flick. More people could be seen with each set of light bulbs lit. Spat, don't you do it. I see you. You are not sneaky. I see you eyeing that wire. Don't you do it. You leave it. You're trying to be naughty again. I see you. You're not sneaky. Yeah, I see you. You do not, believe it or not, the little green bird does not blend into the black desk. I know that might be very shocking for you to hear, but you do not blend in. You are not hidden, you are not sneaky, and you're trying to be naughty, and you know that you are. And I know that you know that you are. We all know what Spat is up to, and we're not having it. You need to behave. Yeah, come on. Get off of that. Let's go. Won't do that. We're not interested, okay? You need to behave. Yes, you do. I can give you cuddles, I can give you so many different things, but you need to behave, okay? Okay, good. Glad we had this talk. Numerous people were lying on the floor, arranged in an orderly manner. As you can see here, these employees won't wake up at all. Not waking up from their dreams, huh? What kind of dreams could they be having to make faces like this? Ezra said, tilting her head to the side. They seem to have escaped into their dreams. You should have a look at their recent work records. Yuria spoke with a smile. Yeah, I thought so too, I said in agreement. Ezra groaned. Oh dear. I was trying to appease Ezra for a while now. That's not actually... Nah, I'm not reading that. All the people lying on the floor opened their eyes and began chanting unintelligible words in unison. The whole underground floor was soon filled with the voices of many. Ezra freaked out. I think there was some sort of message hidden in what they just uttered. Yuria spoke with her eyes closed, focusing on the sound. I mean, you can try. I ain't reading that. I'm not even gonna try. The voices once again echoed throughout the floor. Manager would like to check their work records for the past month. I turned as I spoke to Manager King, who I expected to be right behind us. Uh-oh. Kang Jin-sil was instead inside the elevator. Ka-chink! A steel gate then blocked the entry into the elevator. My apologies, fixers. I'm sure you people are capable enough to handle this, right? The elevator doors began sliding. Tell me, what happened to Kaoru from Ame office? You'll find out soon enough. I hope you can survive this hell. The elevator doors were closed completely. Thank God, that's good. The light bulbs on the ceiling flicker. Every time the light bulb flickered, hundreds of eyes still lying on the floor could be seen gazing at us. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Don't you just hate it? Nope. Alright, and that brings us to the 9th and currently final... Oh, nope, never mind. There's more. Okay, never mind. When I originally looked at the list, there were only 9 chapters, but I guess now that I've gone to the top, more have loaded in. How many more do we got? Hang on a second. 42 chapters is how many there are. Okay, this is definitely gotta be a multi-parter for sure. For sure. My word, yes. I'm not complaining. I just, the little chapter list did not make it clear that there was more above that. That's partially my fault for not being able to read Korean, but we're not talking about that. Let me see here. So there's 42 chapters, and... okay, well, 42 chapters, but how many other filler chapters? I see there's at least 2, 4... Okay, so... we're on chapter 9, and then we got 10 from 42. That's number 32 chapters with 4 more filler chapters. So that's 36 total. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll keep going to like, let's see here. I don't know. Maybe until the end of this particular case. Since it seems to be a multi-part, I think that'll be a a good place to pause it so we can keep it going. The only reason we did all of Leviathan in one sitting is because there wasn't like a clean break point and it was fairly short anyway. But if Distortion Detective is fairly longer, then we can make a multi-parter and keep it going. I'm gonna skip ahead to chapter 42 for a second, just because I want to see when the last chapter was published. 2021. Okay. Tee hee hee. Oh man, it's wild to think of like how much of this decade it's kind of like featuring Project Moon. I only just found out about it like a year and a half ago. It was wild, man, bruh. Detective, I'm so hopeless with this kind of stuff. Ezra took cover behind me, speaking in a faint, squeaky voice. She's not helping, I suppose. Shall we start looking? Oh, bloody hell. Shut up a minute. No. Be quiet. None of that. Thank you, Millie. We appreciate you, but no, go away. Anyway, Ezra took cover behind me, speaking. She's not helping, I suppose. Shall we start out by looking for an exit, detective? No. Actually, Millie reminds me I forgot to turn on one particular thing. 1 second. Actually, something I have to turn on the YouTube side of things. I almost forgot. These are important. There we go. There we go. Anyway. Almost forgot. She still has the nerve to take jabs at Ezra at times like this. I must wonder if she ever gets tired of it. Do you have night vision goggles or something of the sort? Ah, right. There's a few in my dimensional bag. I'm the one who crafted the glasses, though. Well, I planned out the functions for them. I'll commend you both, so hand me the damned glasses already. Ezra rummaged through her dimensional bag and took out 3 pairs of eyeglasses, handing a pair to each of us. The temples of the glasses are decorated with ribbons. Typical northern workshop fashion. Do they really have to adorn everything they make with such ornaments? Putting on the eyeglasses, I could gain a clear vision of the chamber as if it were brightly lit by the sun. Even with the light bulbs on the ceiling blinking frantically, the glasses automatically compensate for the rapid changes in brightness, allowing me to see things in a constant degree of brightness. Quite impressive. I would have had to rely on a lighter to barely see things in front of us in the old days of just Ezra and I working together. It certainly is convenient to have a Meister working for our office. Detective, what do we do if they all start jumping at us? Ezra worriedly asks. I'm pondering on what to do as well. Looking around, I can count 108 employees here in total. They're all blinking at the same time, chanting the same words. What could this mean? For what purpose? Perhaps. It seems as if the minds of these people are linked together. Oh, great, a hive mind. Isn't that lovely? Detective! Over there! Ezra pointed towards a mashed pile of flesh lying in the corner of the sleeping chamber. There were several of them around the chamber, in fact. I can see at least 8 of them, all created at different times. We approached a pile that appears to be the most recent. It's a dead body, as I suspected. A corpse that was crushed brutally. Something in this room smashed people. They were thrown with a tremendous force. It's been at least 33 hours since this blood was spilt, judging from its state. This body seems to have suffered heavy external damage. Yuria says she observed the pile of flesh with a magnifying glass. Kaoru. This sword belonged to Kaoru, which means our opponent has enough physical strength to pound a grade 4 fixer to a pulp. The rest of the lumps of flesh nearby are likely what became of the other fixers from Ame office. There is nothing in our sight that appears to be the culprit, however. The only other things in this base are 108 sleeping employees of a produce company still wearing their suits, and the 3 of us. Detective, how do those employees appear to your eyes? Ezra asks. Well, obviously, they all have different forms of distortions. No,
something is different. The employees did have distortions of their own, but without any common trait to be found, much like those I see in the streets. Yet the distortions are beginning to disappear. The one whose face was missing regains their face. The one whose right arm was scorched has their arm restored. Cylindrical objects are being removed from another person. The distortions are all gathering to a certain spot. I looked to the point where all distortions were converging. Smoke billowed from what appeared to be an altar. Then their chant must be some kind of code and a ritual to summon something. Oh boy, that sounds lovely. Should we kill all the employees sleeping here? We don't even know what may manifest from that smoke. It's hard to judge something we know nothing about. I don't got a good feeling about this. It could turn out to be a favorable phenomenon. It could be an opportunity. At the same time, it's just as likely to be something that could kill us all. I cannot make any judgment on this phenomenon that I'm experiencing for the first time. Should I kill 108 people at my own discretion based on an uncertain possibility? The lives of Ezra and Yuria depend on my decision. My thoughts accelerate. Ezra and Yuria are saying something to me. Damn it, I know. I should come up with something. If I were to use my white breath, could I control more than 100 people at once? I've never tried something of that scale yet. However, I'll only end up ruining myself even in the worst case scenario. Yes, this is the most plausible option I have. Having made up my mind, I open up my eyes. The floor under each employee opened up, storing them in the space below. It's as if they were being used as batteries of the mind. It's too late. It's all good, Noarvin. Welcome back. Only 3 of us made in the 100 Pyong space. Okay, let me find footnote 1 here. What does that mean? Pyong, a Korean unit of floor space. It's similar to the real estate measurements of tatami and supo in Japan. 100 Pyong is about 330 square meters or 3,558 square feet. Okay, guys, thank you for listing cheeseburger units. Much, much needed. 1 second, get the music back. Anyway, here. There we go. Until we know it's something standing before us. At least 3 meters in body size. 6 arms, massive muscles that looked like they could burst at any moment. A skeleton head, blue flames spurting from its gaping mouth, red eyes staring at me. The shape was complete. The creature assumes a bizarre pose, like if Machamp grew an extra pair of arms and became Ghost Rider. This is a completely hostile enemy. Instinctual fear overwhelms us. Yuria grabbed my sleeves tight. Ezra's eyes changed. Ezra, we're about to face something completely different from anything we've dealt with before. Yes, detective! Ezra puts her dimensional bag on the floor. Yuria, observe me to your heart's content. Of course I will. I held my pipe between my lips. I closed my eyes and began breathing in. This distortion has the same scent as the pianist. A distortion dedicated to slaughtering people. One moment of carelessness means death. Yet, I am beginning to feel excited. I suppose this old habit will die hard. All out assault! Mark 3! Ezra's dimensional bag emitted an orange glow as she shouted. Ezra armed herself with exoskeletons of various shapes all over her body. Ezra's big, bulky body was made even bigger. Her size now comparable to that beast we're facing. I noticed that the exoskeletons she's wearing don't exactly appear to be the ones I saw her use before. These must be Yuria's work. But it seems Ezra found the time to stipple them with stickers like she does with everything else she owns. Why did you plaster my gear with silly stickers like that? Yuria complained as expected. If it looks like we're about to die, don't look back and just run. I'm sure you can fix the elevator somehow. I'll earn you enough time. Ezra spoke in a calm tone. What are you talking about? Yuria dropped her usual impotence. Sigh. I placed my hand on my forehead. Stop jinxing us, you two. We're all making it back alive. Boom! With a thunderous kick against the floor, the giant leaped at me.
A skeleton head came right in front of me in the blink of an eye. One of its arms winding up for a punch. A clean hit from that fist could turn me into a pulp. I stood still and closed my eyes. Boom! Ezra cut in immediately and sent the skeleton flying as quickly as it approached me. I won't let you lay so much as a finger on the detective. Crashing into the wall, the giant soon jumped out and threw its fist at Ezra. Boom! Ezra held out her arms high and delivered a high-powered shield to block its attack. My hair and coat flared from the blast of air created from the impact. That skeletal giant is purely a physical being. I doubt psychological attacks will have any effect on it. I could try restricting its movement to assist Ezra, but even if I did, can she deliver the finishing blow to that monster? I doubt that either. Ezra, protect me with all your strength. Yes, Chief! Ezra responded loud and clear. I inhaled a crimson red breath. Yuria style, rotary drill! 3 drills emerged from the exoskeleton on Ezra's right arm as she thrust at the skeleton beast's body. They struggled to penetrate the giant's hard skin, throwing up sparks in all directions. The giant used 2 of its arms to grab Ezra's right arm and pushed her away, while charging up the strength with the other 4. Ezra continues to strike the giant's waist with her left arm. Boom! 4 straight punches land on Ezra at once. The sheer strength of the giant's forearms knocked Ezra across the chamber and into the wall. I inhaled a crimson red breath. You dummy! Use the axe! Yeah, Yuria yelled urgently. Yuria style, axe! Ezra pulled a long pole from her back, which turned into a 2-handed battle axe of enormous size. I never thought this stupidly large axe would actually see use, Yuria mumbled. I inhaled a crimson red breath. Ezra charged at the giant with the axe in her hands. I went like full Southern there from Ezra charged at that giant with the axe in her hands. I don't know where that came from. At the same time, the Colossus lifted its right arms and lunges at her. 3 muscular arms of the giant flung into the air, cleaved clean by the axe. It's an axe sharpened by my teddies in my workshop for 4 whole days. I bet cuts better than hyper oscillation blades, huh? It really does. Ezra's eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. I inhaled a crimson red breath. Watch out! Yuria gave Ezra a warning. The cleaved right arms morphed into sharp stakes and wedged into Ezra's flesh. Ezra swings her axe up, chopping off the arm stakes still stuck in her body. Ezra then proceeds to kick the giant right away and swung her axe at the giant's body this time. Cling! Ezra, the edge is all worn down now. Already? You used it like 3 times. What in tarnation? Yuria, please. Ezra threw the frayed axe onto the ground. I inhaled a crimson red breath. Ezra and the giant engaged in a brutal scuffle. The giant ruthlessly pummels Ezra with its 3 remaining arms and legs, crushing her exoskeleton bit by bit. Blood gushes out from the stake stuck in her body. Detective Moses, please! Yuria cried out at me. I inhaled a crimson red breath. I do not stop inhaling. I close my eyes and sink into my inner world. Every atrocious moment of the past throughout my life swirls around me. The memories of violence I never want to recall. Blood, scars, corpses, pain, war, carnage. I concentrate all of that malice into a single point. Good work, Ezra. The smoking pipe became a scarlet, coarse cylinder in my hand. Oh, I know this bit. We've seen the effects of this. I aimed a cylindrical shape at the oversized skeleton. Crimson point. I stabbed the cylinder into the giant. The cylinder expanded by about 5 meters, erasing the creature's upper body. It bore a hole through the giant's body. A hole created from physical force, yet the origin of that force was neither external nor internal. What was once there simply vanished. My body was shaking. My eyes were bloodshot and my mind was swarmed with destructive impulses. I must maintain reason. I coughed out a thick clot of blood. I felt the familiar embrace. It's all right, Detective. It's over now. Ezra hugged me, her body soaked in blood. Yuri was next to me, sitting on the floor crying. and I could come back to myself.
You all did well.
I stood back up and adjusted my coat.
It's about time we figured out just what's going on in this damned company.
I put my pipe in my mouth. And so that's where the Crimson Point comes from.
My word, yes.
We saw that during Canto 9 as well. This is where that comes from, huh? Mm-hmm. It's super effective. If it's good enough for a former great brother in the mill, it's certainly good enough for that. I would assume that with her talking about how it's similar to the pianist, that they're on similar scales of power. So that would be a WoW level distortion that they just took down. Oof. All right, I do quickly want to read this bit about Yuria. Let's see here. Oh, so that's her, huh? That is not what I picture her looking like at all, actually. What in tarnation? I'm digging like this T-Rex headed wrench weapon thing. Looks like something that you would see out of the Rose Spanner workshop, honestly, just like with some kind of dino headed thing. But yep, that is not what I expected her to look like. Also digging the gears though. You from T Corp. Name Yuria, age 21, gender female, affiliation, grade Meister, self-proclaimed. Height 172 centimeters, around 5'7". Hobbies: having tea party with her teddy bears is what she claims, so they essentially appear to be brainstorming sessions for weapon ideas. Specialty: crafting quality equipment at high speed. Birthday: July 15th. Likes teddy bears, bear brewed coffee, collecting unique adhesive plasters, band-aids. Dislikes things that get in her way: cherry cupcakes and coffee with sugar syrup. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I like black coffee too. Don't get me wrong. And this is that one dude that came by earlier, kind of strong armor into the job. Han Hee-jun, age 37, gender male, 7 association, excuse section 2, grade 2 fixer, 167 centimeters, 5'7" in feet. Hobbies: I wouldn't really say he has any. The only thing he did whenever I saw him was the work that's put in front of him. Specialties: quick and analytic prowess, level-headed judgment. Birthday: July 20th. Likes tidiness, sweet coffee with about 3 sugar cubes. Bleh. Dislikes affairs that leave a mess which need to be dealt with afterwards. I mean, fair. Alright, that is the start of the Distortion Detective. Whoa. We are learning. Alright. Now, I do need to figure out how I want to split these up, because I don't want to just like rush through. I do want to take my time with it a little bit. Just a little bit. I think we will stop there just for today. And then maybe I can identify another good start and stop point for next time. Yeah, I do want to take my time with it. I did make the mistake of rushing through Limbus Company. That is for damn sure. You know, rookie streaming mistake. I was determined to get through it very quickly so I get current. So I want to take my time and really absorb the Project Moon literature that they have to offer. Besides, who knows how long it'll be before the Distortion Detective, visual novel actually comes to fruition with how busy they are. Yeah, I think we'll call it there just for this particular part. We'll definitely do this again in the very near future. Let me see if anyone is about on the Twitch right now that we can go say hi to. We can go bother. Cheeky bit of bothers. Let's see here. What do we got? Hello, Twitch. Silver's playing Raph. We can definitely bother Silver. And once again, as a reminder, my very extremely lovely and beautiful partner Peach premieres tomorrow. We're gonna be playing some Overcooked all together with her and Silver. Yes, you. I'm talking about you. Indeed, isn't she beautiful? Yes, we will all be together tomorrow. So definitely make sure that you come by and say hi to her and follow her on Twitch if you haven't already. She's actually almost at 100 followers. If we can get her to 100 followers before she even goes live tomorrow, that would just be superb. I would be so happy. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Go say hi to her, show her love, but not too much love. You don't go competing with me now. And I'm gonna send you all over to say hi to Silver. And I will see you all next time. Thank you for spending time with me, pigeons. I will see you later. Take care, everybody.